All right, team. Next couple of steps here, gluing up our Super Delta Dart. So let's get started here. And we got our saddle that we need to glue on here, okay? And one thing when we glue this on that we need to make sure that we do is give ourselves enough room so that it overhangs slightly on both sides, right? So we're not putting it right up to one side or the other. It's gonna go right in the middle, slight overhang. If you're, if you have a little bit of a curve to yours, that's perfectly acceptable. That is okay. All right, so I'm gonna just, once again, less is more, a little bit of glue right along here. And for this one, actually just gonna use our saddle to kind of push all that glue around, get it, everything right where we need it to, and let it sit appropriately. Again, I am always gonna come in and clean up. All right, I know this is equally important, right? But part of what this does is, if there's any spots that's missing any glue, right? It pushes glue into all of those gaps, so we're getting good coverage with our glue. Getting nice coverage with our glue. So I make sure that's nice and even. I'm actually gonna try and slide it forward just slightly. There we go, too much. All right, but I like how that looks right there. All right. Okay, so letting that sit there and gluing on that. So that is sitting there nice and square. Okay, oops, tape that to myself. Okay, so that's one thing we need to glue. The second thing we need to glue, all right, is we are gonna be removing, bring these pins back up to me. I'll put them in my trusty tomato pin holder. And we're gonna carefully, once again, very carefully, we are gonna be removing our masking tape. Don't tear this off because this paper that we taped it onto is very fragile. And if you just go in there and tear it off like crazy, you will, it'll tear a hole in your tail wing, which would be bad. All right, so we have this all glued up. Now, what we need to do is we need to add a little peg onto this. So here's our little peg, right? And we are gonna just glue that right where this taper starts, okay? So what that's gonna be is that's gonna be this hook right back here, and that's what the rubber band is gonna be hooking onto. Okay, so we're gonna set that up and we're gonna let that dry. Now, again, we are gonna go for the dollop of glue, and then we're gonna run our peg into that, okay? So we're gonna get good coverage all over one end of our peg, right? And we are going to right where this taper's at, you're just going to put that peg on there. I'm going to fill in those little gaps, getting really, it's okay. Here's one spot where a little extra glue is going to be okay. However, now notice my peg is going back towards my tail. You want to make sure the peg is pointing towards the tail. For some reason, I don't know why, Some people want to glue it in the other direction. It doesn't work. So just make sure that peg is nice and clean on there. And this you might have to hold for a little while. If you do prop it up in your locker, you can prop it like this sometimes if everything's good and dry. But with that being said, if that glue is not set up at all, you'll show up in the next class period and you'll have an issue because your peg will be sitting on the glued to the bottom of your locker, and you got nothing to show for it. So, as this is drying, I want to just make sure it's pressed in there nice and good. I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to start working here on my propeller. Now, on my propeller, I want to make sure it's even, and it's not even. This side, it has more material, more plastic than the other side. So you can see that, right? Because this side here is always the side that is ending up facing down because it's heavier. So I want to grab a file. I have some of these files if you come and talk to me. And just like filing your nails, right? These emery boards are really just, they're sandpaper. I use them all the time. We're going to remove a little bit of material, all right? Kind of clean that up and go back and see how we go, right? So give that a, right? So this side still has some extra material on it, right? Just remove a little bit at a time. This process can take some time, be a little arduous, but don't just start going crazy, and then next thing you know, you've removed too much material, right? And then you're going to have a problem. All right. So again, you can test it a couple of times, right? And you're just going to want to go, and eventually, right? That time, my other side ended up. So if I hold it right in the middle, right? Which side is going to fall down? Still this side. I still have to remove some more material. This step here, this is a nice step to do. It keeps your plane flying pretty straight. If you fly, so we're getting closer because it's falling a lot slower, right? Sometimes if you put the board down, you can also remove material this way. Let's see how we are. All right, you can clean that up. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and clean this side up a little bit from where I don't want a rough edge on it in case it catches something. All right, so I got that side nice and smooth. We'll check again, right? Hold it in the center. We're pretty close. That's gonna be. Now it's my other side, right? I did exactly what I told you not to do. I removed a little too much, right there. So I'm gonna just try to shave this side down ever so much. And try and get it perfect. There we go. All right, so now my propeller is nice and even, right? It's gonna be able to stop. And hopefully I get a good, I'm not having one side that's falling like crazy, okay? and it can end up in an even plane like that. So that's what we're looking for this next step. And then once everything's dry on that step and everything sets up, we'll be ready to start to assemble our final project, our airplane. All right.